What's going on, guys? Sensei and the People is back. I'm here with Dev and Paul. And we just had a great Christmas.
Hi.
But now it's time to unwrap the new season with some anime. Guys, are y'all ready to review the live action of YuYu Hakusho?
The greatest live action ever made?
Highly debatable.
Yes.
Guys, let's jump right in. Alright, so we're gonna hop right into this thing, guys. We watched Yu Yu Hakusho on Netflix. It was a 5-episode
Banger.
banger, I guess you'd say, one would say, of a live action. They took, in a nutshell, they took the heights of Yu Yu Hakusho and put it into 5 episodes.
They shoved it into 5 episodes.
If you've ever seen Yu Yu Hakusho, just know it's about a young boy, a young street tough, who gets hit by a truck and turns into a ghost, but is then offered a second chance at life by becoming a spirit detective and solving spirit mysteries. Yes,
Which you totally got. From...
You totally do get him solving spirit mysteries and stuff. Actually, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen Yu Yu Hakusho, I highly recommend you watch. It's one of the greatest animes of all time, probably. And this live action we're going to get into why all of us thought it was or wasn't a great adaptation. Let's go. Paul, do you want to tell them real quick just kind of the first episode and how it kind of introduces us to the world?
Alright, so Yusuke Urameshi has his hands in his pockets, and he's walking around just fighting people with just his feet, pretty much.
Those are facts.
For justice.
Those are facts.
And he's kind of soft-hearted, obviously, because he sacrifices himself for a kid who he barely knows. He's like, here you go, kid, here's your ball.
He's soft-hearted, but he's also like a
tough outer shell, you know?
Yeah, tough guy kind of deal.
And you can tell because he has his hands in his pockets like the entire episode almost.
Hands in pockets in Japan means you're ready to fight.
Yeah.
Especially when the pockets are like up here.
Right.
But yeah, anyways.
And he has like that cool walk, man. He's just...
Actually, he doesn't care about anything.
No,
yeah.
You know?
Which, I mean, he doesn't. He doesn't even care about his own life. He throws himself in front of a truck.
Yes.
That's being driven by a demon.
Yeah, which is crazy how that happens. And we can get into that too real quick.
Yeah.
Pretty much in the backdrop of this show, there is a demon bug that's going into people's bodies and turning them into, like, I guess, zombie demons.
The demon bug that escaped from hell, right?
It escaped from hell in this convoluted way of, like, there's a giant hole in the middle of the city, guys.
I think they would fix that, huh?
Do you think that, right? But guess what? The demon hole itself is only this big. So even though there's a giant hole, only little things can come out, okay? And we have an overarching bad guy, Sakio, trying to expand the hole and bring demons into the world because he's so bored.
Is that a mullet?
That's a mullet. That is a Japanese mullet. They are still rocking that.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
But setting up, like Paul was saying, Yusuke is his first real big task after being a spirit detective is to investigate this demon bug flying around.
Mm-hmm.
And the first episode ends, and we're just kind of speeding through it because we don't have to break down every little piece.
I mean, there's not much to go over anyways.
There's a lot to go.
Is there?
Yeah. But the episode ends with the demon bug controlling this, picked on Asian guy. This dude gets picked on a lot.
Yeah, dude.
They really, sold how much they picked on this guy. Like, bullying in Japan is rampant. I don't know if y'all realize that. It is crazy in Japan, the bullying.
I think every other anime is about bullying.
Oh, dude, every early Japan anime had somebody getting bullied. Like, you remember early Yu-Gi-Oh? They were bullying the hell out of Yugi.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just like...
Not Yami Yugi. He's too tough for that.
Yeah, not Yami. But, this guy is like a zombie demon. And, like, Dev, can you kind of just... What did you think of the fight between the zombie and Yusuke?
I thought... So, this is the first fight, like, you kind of introduced to. So, although Yusuke is a detective, he's a spirit detective, he really kind of doesn't learn, like, all of, like, his powers and stuff. So, it's basically a human...
Yeah.
Almost versus a demon.
Right.
Now, this is kind of where you get to see Yusuke's, like, ability to, like, pull through and kind of, like, problem solve on the fly,
really good
kind of.
His natural fighting skills, yeah.
Exactly. So, you really get to see that, and you really get to kind of, like, just really see what kind of Yusuke's fighting style is really, really like. Just kind of just a straight brawler,
Perfect word for it.
So,
like, the choreography in these fights, guys, where do we rank this in terms of, like, just fights on TV, period?
I mean, like, for a live action, for what it was,
For what it was.
I thought for a live action it was really good.
Dog.
It was really, really good. A lot of these fights were really good for live action.
Some of the best fights you will ever watch on anything. Like, I'm trying to think of a show with a really good fight. And I keep thinking of Ong Bak.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was watching
Ip Man, yeah.
Ip Man, IP Man for Americans.
Like,
sorry.
like on a scale to Zom 100 and
Death Notes.
yeah, Death Note to
kind of ranges the shit range
to One Piece. You know, I think it's
okay.
above all of them
for a live action. Yeah, it's definitely one of the fights are crazy. I mean, they're so good, man. Like the gore in this show makes me love it.
They did not spare on the gore.
It makes me, dude. If I'm watching a show, and then you give me like a punch and the blood shoots out of your face, I'm signed up.
And thank you, Netflix, for making this mature. Otherwise, it would have been way worse.
Yeah, it was a mature show, and this I think the anime is probably more PG-13ish, like older crowds. It's definitely not for kids, because Yusuke was an asshole, and like that.
No, that like the crowd for the tournament, like they would just. A lot of the crowd would just die all the time.
Yes, they get wiped out in the anime.
They're kind of cornering human women, so it's kind of like, I don't know what kind of vibes. What's going on here? What's going on? I don't know.
Yes. And that's the first episode of YuYu Hakusho. And then right at the end of that, after you see them beat the zombie, you then realize Koenma, who Paul has gripes with.
Not a baby.
He's not a baby. Koenma should be a baby. He's not a baby. He's like the captain of the demon spirit detective force, I guess you'd say. He's not a baby. They realize that 3 guys have stolen super special demon artifacts.
Right.
One stole the mirror, one stole the sword, really a dagger, and one stole the orb. Yes. We got Big Red Demon who stole the orb. Goki.
Yeah.
We got Kurama stole the mirror, and Hiei stole the dagger.
Right.
Dev, do you remember what each of those guys stole them for?
So the Big Red Beast.
Goki?
Yeah, Goki. He stole it so that way he can eat souls easier.
I loved his storyline.
Kurama wanted to save his mom.
Yeah.
That was a storyline.
They actually used that one. And then
I like that one.
He wanted to open up his third eye.
Yeah, well, but he wanted to do it though to find his sister.
To find his sister,
right? Yeah. Which all that was accurate.
Yeah, all of that was accurate. All that was like to that point, they're following the story.
Yeah,
to a T, except for the demon zombie. But to a T, they are following that story.
Kind of like how the pace of it was.
Yeah, it was moving fast. It was like by the middle of the second episode, we already saw Goki get beat.
Right.
So the pacing alone was awesome. For five episodes, you better be awesome.
I mean, I don't know about.
I don't know about awesome.
Awesome. I wish it would have slowed down.
Okay, we can hop on that in a moment.
I mean, but One Piece was like 8-9 episodes. This was 5. So let's put that in perspective real quick.
And we can do that, but in one moment we can do that though for sure. I just want to say this, guys. That Goki fight really, really like that Goki fight with the CG and how it looked so good in the fight. It didn't look like mangled. It didn't look messed up. It looked really well. Has me super hyped for One Piece. Because in One Piece Season 2, there's going to be a full season of Chopper, who's all CG. And seeing that made me really happy. Because I know Netflix can do it. They can do it.
It's going to make me mad if they have like a little kid with this prosthetics and then... See, the only time I want to see CG on Chopper is if when he transforms.
Right.
And then that would be good.
And this is not about him.
But it's crazy because YuYu though, the CG for YuYu is it was pretty good.
Done really, really good.
Goki was like moving fluidly. He tossed all the cars around. Yes. It was perfect. It wasn't really that bad at all.
It wasn't. And after we beat Goki and we saved Kurama's from killing himself, and we kind of find out the reason why Hiei got the dagger. Mm-hmm. We go into
sister.
He's looking for his sister, yes.
Right.
We go into hyperspeed. Episode 3, it's like, you found out what happened, everybody's friends. Everybody's friends. Kurama and Hiei, they're working together now.
Their words, comrades.
They skip a season and a half. They skip at least a season and a half.
They definitely, because... So there's this whole time where Yugi's like trying to figure out like the whole spirit detective thing.
Right.
And like they totally like... Because he did that one mission. They're like, oh, that's enough,
Yeah, you do one mission, you get trained by Genkai, even though like you're supposed to like go through a whole season of fighting another special demon just to get the training in the first place. A separate tournament, which they skipped over.
They combined the tournament.
So they missed a bunch of world building in that. So like... Yeah, and then at that point, you just feel like you kind of have to accept everything as it's coming to you
for what it is,
and that's what I did mentally. As soon as that happened, as soon as we got a hyperspeed to Genkai and the training in the middle of episode 3, I was like, okay, this is what
you
we're
pretty
doing.
much got the story, crumbled it up, and threw it behind you.
Yeah, at that point, I was like, okay, we're watching something totally different here.
Yeah.
This is not what we're gonna get.
What I would call it is I would call it a brief summary of YuYu Hakusho, the 5 episodes.
Yeah.
It's a brief summary
of the height of the show. Yeah. That's a
I mean, when I think of the word summary, like you pretty much have like explanations of characters every now and then that were like kind of key. Like where's Pooh, young Genkai, Koenma baby in adult form. How does that happen? Like there's little things that I don't know.
Yeah, but in the summary that gets glossed over.
Yeah,
right.
and for people that don't really know Yu Yu Hakusho, what we're talking about is at this point after Hiei, Kurama, and Goki fight, we do a thing where we go have a whole season going to Genkai, where Yusuke has to get trained, and then after Yusuke gets the training, then they go to the Dark Tournament, where that's where they fight Toguro and everybody, and then that's what they took.
Tournament is loosely.
They took the Dark Tournament and turned it into a dark couple of fights, and that came
because tournaments have brackets, and this was not even a bracket. It was just finals.
That's
it. But in the main anime, in the anime, it's an actual tournament.
Right.
It's got a ring.
Yes.
Right.
It's got a crowd.
Now
it's got an announcer.
The saving grace was they gave us the last fights we're supposed to see.
I'll give you that one.
They gave us Kurama versus I forget his name all the time. Beautiful. Yeah. We get Hiei versus Bui.
Yeah.
We get Kuwabara versus the older Toguro.
Yeah, elder.
Yeah. Elder Toguro. Everything happened, and by the way, Elder Toguro was one of the highlights of the show.
Yes,
he was perfect. He was so freaking good.
Transforming.
Oh, he was, he was so good.
Yeah, dude, I love his character.
And you should listen to Japanese because it was like his voice was perfect.
Perfect. It was like it was almost like the guy. Like it was so good.
It was.
It's like
and he was so small too. Like that. If anything, Hiei should have been that small.
Yes. Elder Toguro, we loved you, dog. But yeah, we get the fights kind of hyper speeded. We get to see them fight everybody in like their own little parts of the episode.
One-on-ones.
Yeah, little one-on-ones. I mean, Kuwabara fighting the demon dog did kind of piss me off because I'm like, what's this demon dog here for, man?
It almost pissed me off as much as his uncolored sword. Like his sword's supposed to be yellow.
It was.
Devin, come on.
It's energy. It's energy.
The thing that made me, if we're gonna talk about Kuwabara, he never got a moment to really shine.
I disagree with that. Look here, before we go into characters, and we're gonna go that right next. How the show ends, we see the fight between Yusuke and Toguro, and it was a really well choreographed fight. Toguro's CG was great, right? I mean, Toguro,
I loved it.
I thought it was awesome.
It was
the colossal titan looking was not the full-fledged Toguro. I wasn't too.
Dude, when he stopped the spirit. The spirit gun? I thought it was.
That was cool.
I thought it was really cool.
And the air pressure bullets.
The air pressure bullets.
I'm not gonna lie, that made me happy when he did that.
I busted a little bit. That was
that was cool.
They got every little detail with the fight.
When he did his thumb like this, I was like,
oh, sick. Yes, that fight happens.
Yeah.
They kind of give us some bullshit with Sakio and the betting, and then like the betting Koenma, like, yo, by the way, if Toguro wins, I'll just stop everything, even though they have the upper hand. Why are you making that bet, idiot?
Right.
You have the upper hand.
Because they kind of like that's what they make his character into, though. He loves to gamble, and he knows that majority of the time that he wins, and when the first time that he lost, that's when his life had.
Okay, and I'll submit to that.
He's tired of winning or anything.
That's fine. And Yusuke beats Toguro with his super spirit gun. And the show ends with them all getting on a boat, going back to the regular city, and they're all like laughing together, like friendly and shit, like ha ha ha.
Comrades.
Yeah. I hated that so much. I hated that. That's what happens. Now, Dev, you were saying
Kuwabara. First of all,
what's your gripe with the characters? Go.
First of all, I liked his outfit. I'll start there. I liked his outfit. It had the Kuwabara outfit,
blue with tank top.
Yeah, blue.
With that, I don't know what that waist is. Like, I don't know if it's bandages on his waist. He's always hurt or something. I don't know what it is.
He's always hurt.
Number one thing here, though, like, I don't know if you guys can see, like, the color of his hair.
I think it's what, red, orange, or something.
Yes,
it's like an orangish color.
Yeah, it's kind of like pompadour, right?
Yeah, correct. Dude. Like even his eyebrows, they're orange also.
Right. And I can almost hear him like, you're a midgie.
His sword there also.
Right. What color is it?
Also, it is also yellow.
Right.
It's piss yellow. Kuwabara is a canonically ginger character.
Right.
He was not ginger in the show, and that's Devin's biggest gripe.
Actually, they're all Japanese, if anything.
Devin's
biggest gripe, dude. I love Kuwabara, dude. Kuwabara's one of my favorite characters.
In the show?
Yeah, in the show.
In the live action?
No.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
In the anime. But, like, also, Kuwabara was almost, it feels like, pointless in this. You say that he isn't because he made Yusuke not want to give up.
Right.
But the whole training arc was kind of like so small and not well done because it just feels like it's a couple of scenes. Right. And Yusuke just goes out there and watches Kuwabara keep slashing a rock, and finally he gets his little and it makes Yusuke want to keep going because he doesn't want Kuwabara
to give up
to be better than him, whatever. But
which is not how it happened.
There was no Kuwabara didn't seem very important to the group, especially in the tournament. Don't
call it that.
In the live anime, he at least beat somebody in the tournament.
That's true. He keeps up with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
In this one, just running away the whole time, entire time, dude. He just felt like he didn't belong in that group. Like, these guys are all strong, and they're keeping up with their respective counterparts, and here comes Kuwabara, just running. Like, it was just... I had no respect for this Kuwabara.
Right. So, I kind of agree with both of you. I already know what you're going to say.
Yeah, I mean, I completely disagree, because Kuwabara was not only that little motivation for Yusuke when he didn't have any motivation, which is huge, but he was also, like... Without him in this show... I think it'd be, like, without how that character did it, how that guy did it, like, with the bombastic way, if they didn't have that kind of Kuwabara, I would not like this show. I would not like because he's he's like the stupid idiot, he's the anime character.
Yeah.
He's the exaggerated, just bullshit that he does, like, just stupid shit. I need that.
Yeah,
from him.
His mannerisms, the guy who played
funny.
him did the best he could. And
he was great.
He did decent. It was just the little aesthetic things that I didn't like about it. His sword the wrong color, no pompadour, he wasn't a ginger. I didn't have that. He would have been like,
I don't think it's anything that I don't have a problem with with the character that played.
Yeah.
Kuwabara. I just have a problem with the way he was, like, written into the live action and how he was. I guess the producers portrayed him.
I agree with the joke. I agree with Cray that he was Yusuke's Krillin. Like, if it wasn't for him being there, Yusuke wouldn't have went Super Saiyan in that. You know what I'm saying? I know that's a good point. That's the point you're trying to make. Like,
way to put it.
Him getting killed almost pushed Yusuke to that little last.
And we don't think about it, but in anime they always have that character.
Yeah, the friend that gets hurt so bad.
You need that guy to drive.
You do.
But the chick could have served the same purpose.
True. Keiko could have.
Yeah, Keiko. She could have served the same purpose.
She could have. Right, she could have. I'm not even gonna argue that. But, like, it's like Kuwabara. We followed him train and be the loser, and then to see him, it was cool.
What did he won? So he's a winner by just by
losing.
By just getting the shit kicked out.
It's a moral victory.
No, dude, that's not who Kuwabara is. Kuwabara was someone.
Kuwabara always gave his all and tried. That's what this guy did too.
But in the anime, they that's how Yusuke, like, that's what I liked about it, because in the anime he did almost get killed by Toguro. That's what kind of made Yusuke do that little snap, like, oh, Kuwabara, and then he
I agree with that, but I just don't think that in the live action that the characters' relationship got to that level.
He was too weak in the live action. So, but again, I think that's the tournament's fault. They would have had, like...
Yeah, I was... Okay, here's my biggest gripe. And we'll just go off of gripes real quick, because you did gripe a character. Yeah. One of my biggest gripes was also... Obviously, the pacing was just so fast.
Too fast.
Because I kind of liked it for its own thing, but it was so fast that, like, they made Yusuke go up against Toguro in his super strong form without any training.
Right.
I'm sorry. The training he got was some bullshit finger ups.
Right. This was first season Yusuke fighting against third season Toguro.
That was my biggest issue. There's no way he should have won that. Even with the spirit orb that was given by Genkai. Look, I was all on board with the Genkai training at hyperspeed. Like, I was like, fuck it, whatever. This is live action, fine. But when Genkai gave him the spirit orb before she was even in that little cave in the anime and dying.
And Pooh, there's no Pooh.
That is one of the biggest moments in anime to me. Genkai dying, him taking the spirit orb from her and then shooting the sky.
Right.
They didn't do that right at all.
Oh, yeah.
They shot the sky with Genkai alive.
It wasn't even a spirit, like, it was just like a shot.
It was a little bitty shot. It took us like, Yeah. Dude, that moment is one of my all-time favorite moments in anime that I'll never forget. Right. So to do it like that really pissed me off. Paul, what was your gripe?
I'm going to piggyback on that. My moment where I wanted to see was, I mean, the whole world building, like Devin said earlier, he's a spirit detective that's going into the realm of demons, the underworld, and there was no demons there at all, except for the very end. Like,
in the beginning.
A bug?
The bug that controlled in the demon dog.
But what about the Oni demon that helps him, like, helps Koenma? What about... What about the Beast Kings? There was no demon. What about all the friendships he made on the way to the tournament? Like, there was so many friendships. Yorimeshi, he's a pretty good fighter. Like, that one guy.
The Australian flying guy, Jin.
The knife guy who had a knife fight.
Yeah.
There were so many things missing.
That would have been nice to see them there. Like, maybe in a cage or something. That would have been so nice to see.
Dude,
actually.
Like, yeah, that would have gave us a little... I would have been happy with that.
That would have been so cool to see Jin and the guys in the cage. That'd be cool.
Dude.
Okay, here's why I push back on you. They made explicitly... they said this to us explicitly. The demon hole is only this big. Only a roundworm demon could fit through. So that's why I was rolling with it. Because it wasn't as
demons already there.
There wasn't.
Goki's already there. Koenma's already there.
So they don't really.
already there.
They never got into. Like,
his sister's already there.
Good point. All good points.
I push back on you back. All right. I'm pushing back. Push back.
Push back. All good points, and I can't argue those.
Thanks a lot, Rebel Moon, for taking away like the $500 million budget that we should have gotten on YuYu Hakusho.
Yeah, they knew Rebel Moon was coming out. They said, you know what? From 8 to 5.
You know what's crazy? So like when I realized it was 5 episodes, I was like, okay, like that's cool. This must just be like Yusuke doing the spirit detective.
Just the detective.
Right before the Dark Tournament, right?
Yeah. Exactly. And it's like, okay, they'll make us wait. They'll do a good job over here, and then they'll make us wait.
Maybe a hint at the Toguro brothers and like in the background shadow.
Yeah, exactly. And then whenever I watched the whole thing, I was a little bit disappointed. I was like, okay, the whole entire tournament and everything is in these 5 episodes, and like that's not.
After having seen this, guys, do you wish they would have just made the first 5 episodes just the detective?
I wish, yeah. That was like maybe, that was my hope whenever it was
maybe
5 episodes.
Ending at Hiei and then stopping there. Like that's the last, and then hype us up with some tidbits of Toguro, maybe.
Just build the world.
Maybe if anything, stop right at Genkai kind of training, but like after the first mini tournament that they have. If you watch the anime, they should stop there.
I was wrong actually. Also, after Genkai's tournament, before the Dark Tournament, there's another little mini arc.
Yeah, the Beast Kings.
Yes, and that's what
that could have been the second season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't care about so much as that. Didn't Toguro, wasn't he like a mercenary in that arc also?
And he was helping the main guy that was making that girl cry, his sister. That was a little.
That's what they could have done. They could have introduced Toguro there and then hyped for an awesome season 3.
Show him 10% of his power. Him just swiping off. You know, I'm like, man, come on.
And also, like, they really didn't get into like the percentage of his powers. Like,
he only went to 100%, not 120 like he's supposed to.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. That final form with his jacked up shoulder blades coming out of his, and then his like, dude,
he's gray.
Come on,
yeah,
man.
They should have made him lose gray, right? He looked like a giant dildo.
But I'll take thumb bullets. I'll take the air pressure.
Thumb bullets.
I'll take them.
Who was y'all's favorite character, guys, in the show? Do you think if you could think of one character who really stood out to you? I'll say mine, Kuwabara. I truly loved Kuwabara almost as much as Yusuke. Actually, more than Yusuke. And Yusuke was my second favorite. He's like right there for me.
Well, I mean, I really love the Elder Toguro.
Yeah.
He did that guy and the CG. They did everything they did. They pretty much put the whole budget of the last 3 episodes into his character. Like, episode 8, they cut it off, put it in there.
They went crazy with the CG on him because he had all the CG. He had like everything coming out of him, and
he got cut in half, and then like that was so cool.
Yeah, they did him right. I loved how he got killed. Well, I didn't like how he got killed. I did not like how he got killed.
It's the same thing as anime. His older brother killed him. I mean,
is that what happened in the end?
Yes.
I don't remember.
That's why I love those last couple episodes. Like, all right,
fair.
Cool.
I didn't remember he killed him. Okay.
Because he got mad. He's like, he does have honor at the end of the day.
Y'all both chose Elder?
Yeah, I'll go with someone different just because he chose him. I would go with...
Yomi Kurama?
No, because he didn't go baby form. So I will go with...
Just say Yusuke.
I don't know. I'll go Hiei.
Hey, that black dragon was still cool.
He's a fan favorite, yeah. And that dragon...
That was cool.
That black dragon that he did, that was badass.
And his hand was hurt afterwards.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like, I was waiting for that move. Like, that was one of the movies that I wanted to see in live action.
Did his Jagan eye open ever? I think it did, right?
No, I think they briefly showed it whenever he unlocked it.
Yeah, right. That's it.
But that was
he just stabbed himself. That was
yeah, and then I think you saw the eye, and then after that, it was you really could see.
That was it. That was a letdown.
So.
Should we do like a worst character? Nah, okay. What are we rating this thing, guys?
For what it is?
I kind of... No, I'm not going to rate it differently than I would any other thing. But I almost kind of like want to say, compared to the anime, it was trash. But by itself, I'm giving this thing a solid 7.
I mean, it's alright, like...
Live action review, I remember it very well.
I'm giving this thing a solid 7.
Like, I think you were comparing at the same time. Like, you were like, back, hey, remember this part of Fishman Island?
Because they really followed the story. This didn't. You know what? I'm giving this a 6.
Thank you.
I'm giving this a 6.
Piece of shit. Let Paul talk in.
Yeah.
Paul talk you down.
Honestly, bro, it has 5 points because of the fights.
Yeah, it does.
5 points are because of the fights. So it's a 1.
Another point for nostalgia.
Another point.
Right, Paul, what do you got?
Yeah. I'll give it a 10. Nah. I'm gonna give it a 6 as well. Honestly,
that's alright.
The fights were. I have to because the fights were so good. They were choreographed well, like just the punches and everything, and then air pressure bullets. That really got me. Like the way he just
the Kurama fight really got me too.
Oh yeah,
the plants, everything. And then like
perfect.
Kurama lost a little bit too, then came back. I love the whole thing.
And then I planted the death root inside you. Like
that was fun with the hit. Oh, dude, that's so cool.
That was cool. Yeah, I'll give it a 6. Shit.
Anyways, Dev.
Yeah. It's gonna get a 7.
Oh, and also, sorry. What?
It's gonna get a 7. Just because for what it was, it was a nostalgia piece for me. You know, just to see what those moves would kind of look like live. You know, if something were to happen, and he pops up, like I know what that would look like now. You know,
right? You got merch. You got your merch. You got like a shirt and everything.
Yeah. So I think. I just loved all the fights, and although I didn't get as much story as I wanted, I got enough to kind of keep me interested. And I was, the whole time I was like, man, I want to see what this looks like, and I want to see what this looks like, and they did enough of that to let me give it a 7.
Right? Do we want another season? Can we even imagine another season?
I don't think I want another season.
I can't even imagine how they do it.
They have enough to work with.
How?
They would have to redo it.
Yeah, they have to redo the whole thing.
No, they have.
Because there's no progression of Yusuke's strength. Like, what are they going to do?
The Demon King, they have that whole demon underworld. Here's where they messed up at. At the very end. Obviously. At the very end, you see the Elder Toguro kind of like that little form that was, I don't know if you guys kept watching after that.
Yeah, his head was cut off.
Yeah, and then that bird was pecking at him. Mm-hmm. Now, what should have been cool is if you saw a shadow standing over him, and that would have been Sensui to take him and use him to get... That would have been perfect, but they didn't do that.
What is this, Freddy versus Jason?
No. I mean, that's what happens in the anime, and that's how Sensui gets a hold of him. He gets, that last piece of the Toguro brother, and then the Toguro brother kind of helps plot against Yusuke and then kidnaps what's her name? I
always forget. I always forget the black arc.
And then you got the demon tournament. That was amazing.
But you can't do demon tournament without Toguro as the finisher. Who are you gonna have the last fight?
I'm talking about the demon tournament, not the dark tournament. The demon.
That wasn't even a tournament, dog.
I mean,
they hold us on that too.
You get to see that his great relative.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I think all in all, it was
the red spirit gun. You don't want the red demon spirit gun.
I just don't want any more of it. How it is now.
I don't either.
I don't want this iteration.
I don't want it
anymore.
So the only live action I wanted up to was the dark tournament.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted.
I would have waited.
Now I just want. I want what they did, except for I want more. Yeah. I want them to expound on what was already there.
Can they go back and add episodes?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Honestly, I just want them to stop messing with it already.
Add some scenes, a bunch of scenes. Probably add 4 or 5 more episodes into it somewhere. Director's cut.
They need to add episodes, and you guys add this one to your list because it's definitely worth the watch. As we all said, it's above 5. It's worth the watch.
Yeah.
Just don't have your expectations too high. Go in there with a blank slate, and you'll have the most fun.
Anime first.
If you go in there with a blank slate, you will have the most fun.
Right.
Guys, we're Simply People. We're out.